Hey, it's Monica B, creator of HeyMonicaB.com, a blooming resource on Ayurveda, and author of In Your Elements, a blooming Ayurvedic guide to creating your best life. Today, we are going to talk about Ojas, or our immunity in Ayurveda. So what the heck is Ojas anyways? Ojas is the luster, the vitality, the immunity that we have within us. And it basically is created after the tissues. So, you know, Agni, our digestive fire, all the tissues have their own little Agnis too. And so when we digest food, they go through all the 7 tissues or 7 dhatus in Ayurveda, and they get digested. And so then what's left over after the tissues have taken all of the pieces of the nutrients, what's left over is Ojas, which is a few drops of the very, very goodness, the very, very essence, and it lives in the heart. And having strong Ojas is the key to having really good immunity, buoyancy, vitality, and this life energy that we have. There's like a blower going on. Can you guys, James, can you hear that blower? James, tell me if you can hear the blower. Okay. Anyways, so what I'm going to do today is I thought that I'm going to actually use my book. So if you've got my book, it's on page 99. Yes, I know it's backwards. Nothing I can do about that. But if you want to go through and have a review after this video, it's on page 99 in the book, In Your Elements. And I thought, hey, you know what? I articulated it really well in this book. So I just want to explain some things about Ojas, or our immunity, and how we can enhance Ojas, and what are some of the things that deplete Ojas, so you can keep a lookout for that. So, okay, Ojas is responsible for reproduction and creation, right? It is those little drops in the heart are like golden nectar for our body. If we don't have enough Ojas, we will get sick. More often we will get sick, more severe, we'll have a harder time recovering, we'll have a harder time getting back into balance. So Ojas is really important. And to keep a high quality of Ojas, and to get a high quality of Ojas, we want to make sure that the food that we're eating is high quality and that our tissues are being built in a high quality way. For example, we can have extra tissues or extra quantity of tissues, but if they're not built out of high quality stuff, Ojas goes down. Okay, so it doesn't have to do with quantity of tissues, but the quality. So, when Ojas is low, we feel physically and mentally weak, worried, anxious, unstable, and our complexion turns lifeless and gray. As our physical bodies get rough and thin. When Ojas is strong and healthy, the eyes are full of luster and life. We have confidence, clarity of mind, enhanced creativity, efficient digestion, and potent fertility. Hooray! That's really in the book. It says, hooray, love me some Ojas. That's in the book too. To produce enough high quality Ojas, we need to put pure nourishment in our bodies. If you're just joining us on page 99 of In Your Elements book. And so what enhances Ojas? Ghee is a great Ojas enhancer. In fact, in my mind, that's what Ojas looks like. Little droplets of golden ghee. Now, keep in mind, ghee is not for people who have ama, which is going to show up as whiteness on the tongue. Okay, so keep that in mind. Too much ghee can cause ama. This is why we talk about balance in Ayurveda. Organic whole milk or even raw milk, if you can get your hands on some of that, wonderful Ojas enhancer. And you don't need to drink like tons of milk, and you don't need to eat tons of ghee to have this. We just need a little bit in good balance to keep the tissues balanced, and so that we can digest the foods properly. Good quality sleep is an Ojas enhancer. We need to sleep good and sound so we can have that restoration that we need at nighttime. A proper diet according to your dosha. Yes, we know that by now, right? And foods from nature that are high quality foods, right? No Doritos, no, what do you call those? Twinkies, no Twinkies, ding dongs, that kind of stuff. Okay. Stress management. Stress creates a breakdown of the body, right? So the stress creates a breakdown in our mind, stressful qualities for us, and it also does the same thing in our bodies. So keeping that stress management under control through movement of our body, pranayama, which is the breathing, right? That really, really helps. Okay, so what depletes Ojas? Basically anything in excess depletes Ojas because there's too much. And when we're moving too fast or too much, like over exercising is one of the things that can totally deplete Ojas. That's why in Ayurveda, the best exercise gives you a little sweat in your pits, gives a little sweat on your brow, maybe a little sweat on your nose, and that's good. We do not want to be constantly dripping sweat because it breaks the body down too much and depletes Ojas. Okay? So, and that's for anybody who's kind of, there's a lot more to consider than just the physical body in Ayurveda. This is all connected. And so we don't want to break down the physical body. We want high quality tissues that are functioning properly for the build that we have in the person who we are. Okay, so what depletes Ojas here? Improper diet, including excessive alcohol, caffeine, carbonated drinks, fast food, stale food, reheated food, microwave food, frozen food, overly cold or raw foods, all deplete Ojas. Those things are not either high in quality or they're a bit too hard to digest for the body if we're not putting warmth and agni into the food before we eat it. Anything in excess, like I just said, including work, stress, worry, anxiety, sex, and exercise. All of those things will break the body down rather than build the body and sustain it in a nourishing way. Lack of sleep or poor quality sleeps breaks down Ojas. When I work with my coaching clients one-on-one, sleep is absolutely crucial. I want to make sure that they're on a very, very good sleep schedule. If they don't have that, they are going to fall apart in so many different ways. It sounds good to function like that. I'm a night owl. I can stay up. So my best hours are at nighttime. That sounds good. And I know that it feels good sometimes for productivity because you get a bunch done when like nobody else is awake. But over a long term, your body is going to break itself down. You're going to notice serious problems, especially in the immunity or if you're very sick. So if you get colds often and stuff like that, check and see if you're doing some of these things. Also, something else that depletes Ojas is overall sadness and consistent irritability or anger. Those negative emotions have a negative effect on the physical body as well, because mind, body, spirit, they're all connected. So making sure that we are doing those positive practices to keep the mind peaceful, compassionate, joyful, easygoing, right? An easy ride instead of like judgy, controlling, stressed out, chasing, angry, irritable. I wish they would do things that way. Why do they? That is hard on the mind, and therefore it is hard on the body too. So it can deplete our power. So if you want to think about this in broad terms, Ojas is our power, our immunity, our luster, our vitality. It's the thing that keeps us strong and ready for creativity and for productivity too, and all the good loving stuff. So keep your Ojas nice and strong. Some little tips: lifeless and canned and processed food have no life, no prana, and therefore no Ojas. So prana begins the cycle of starting to create the Ojas, right? Prana's good life energy that comes in, gets digested by the body, by all the tissues, and the little drops that are left are the Ojas. And we don't need a lot of Ojas, we just need high quality Ojas. Okay. When you have enough Ojas, the mind will be content. And Ojas increases, this is important, with heavy foods. Okay, so the heavier foods, like the comfort foods, Ojas increases with those type of foods. However, we have to be mindful that we're not creating ama with those foods, with too much of those foods. So this is where Ayurveda gets tricky, and you need to know who you are, what your dosha is, and the best diet for your dosha, and you're following those guidelines. So heavy foods are good for Ojas, but if we can't digest it, it turns to ama. Balance, right? So we're all about the balance. So I hope this helps you today. Learn a little bit more about Ojas and maybe practice some things that are good for Ojas. I'm serious. Make sure you're getting enough sleep and bring in those foods that are good from nature. You have now the whole weekend to practice bringing Ayurveda to life with your newfound knowledge in Ojas. And like I said, if you have my book, In Your Elements, it's on page 99. And if you don't have my book, In Your Elements, go ahead and grab a copy. It is, in my opinion, the best, most easily explained book on Ayurveda for people that don't know a lick about it. And it's a workbook so you can ask questions about yourself and your life in the entire book. So I'll post the link below if you're interested in that. And as always, keep bringing Ayurveda to life and have a great Saturday. Mwah.